we're in yoga class. Can you handle it? I don't think you can. Hi. Well, hello and welcome to yoga for everyday athletes and apparently dogs too. My name's Paul Orlowski. This is Joy, the downward dog. And I think Joy wants to play. I think she's getting a little bit bored. However, today we are going to be doing a bunch of core work and a bunch of hip work. We're going to, make it a little bit challenging. But it's going to be stuff that's going to really work basically glutes to your shoulders and get you some stability. So let's get our breath going right away. So first of all, focus on inhaling in through your nose and exhaling through your nose, just to get the sense of that. And then let's start to drag our breath into our belly. And if it's a struggle at all, think of your diaphragm, which is underneath your rib cage, kind of under your heart. And the idea is that you're kind of under your heart, but it's more in the middle, and you're trying to like expand it like a balloon. It's kind of a bladder thing. We're inhaling, pushing our belly out, making our belly look like we're giant. And then just relaxing it. All right. I'm going to roll forward, come into a all fours and tabletop position. And you can see that I'm having to adjust a little bit with my garage studio because this is the season of a lot of salt being put down. And so the garage floor is a mess. Well, hello, dog. Yes, I love you too. So we're in cat and cow. And what you're trying to do is inhale, drop your belly, stick your butt out, and lift up your head. And then we'll exhale, hinge your hips under, and arch your back and drop your head. No. Then inhale back. And exhale out. What do you need there, Pop? I know you need to play, don't you? And just keep going at your own pace. And we're trying to really work your breathing so that when you're inhaling into cow and dropping your belly, you're inhaling the whole time and lifting up, and then starting to arch your back on the exhale when your inhale is done, and just keep moving with your breath. Focus on inhaling and exhaling through your nose. All right, then let's bring our hands out a bit, and we're going to come into a downward dog. Joy's not getting bored with me. That's good. All right, so in our downward dog, we are simply trying to create a little bit of space in our shoulders and in our hips. And then on the exhale, push your right heel down. Then inhale on your tiptoes. Exhale your left heel down. And inhale up on your tiptoes, exhale both heels down. And inhale, tiptoes. Now try to sink your shoulders down so that your collarbones are coming closer to the mat. And you are trying to create a straighter downward dog. So the goal in downward dog is to have a relatively straight line from your hips to your heels and from your hips to your hands. Most of us can get the hips to our heels okay. It's the hip to our hands that we're a little limited in our shoulders. That's okay. Let's inhale, look to the top of the mat, and we'll exhale and walk our feet forward. Come all the way to a half lift. come down into a forward fold, and then we're going to lift up into a mountain pose, up overhead with your hands, and exhale your hands down to heart center. All right, so let's collect our breath here. Let's bring our hands to our sides. What we're going to do is a bunch of sun salutations, like a bunch of them, like maybe 6 of them. And when we come down into our planks, we're going to hold the plank, and then we're going to roll up into a side plank and hold that for a few moments. Come back, push ourselves up. All right. Oh, and we're also going to add some chairs. I forgot to mention that. All right. So inhale up, exhale, sink your butt back into a chair pose. Hold your arms up so that your back is feeling a lot of work. Inhale into your belly, and then exhale down to a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Walk your feet back into a high plank. And then as you're exhaling, come into a low plank and push up either into a upward facing dog or a cobra. And then exhale and push back to a downward dog. So the difference between an upward facing dog and a cobra is that in an upward facing dog, and you can stay in your downward dog, is that your knees are off the ground and you're on your tops of your feet. So it's a little bit more work being done, well, kind of everywhere. Right? So let's take an inhale, walk your feet forward. Now on the exhale into a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. I keep trying to come up too early. Inhale or exhale to a forward fold all the way up as you inhale into your belly. Now we're going to sink back into a forward fold. We'll do every other one as a chair. Half lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale into a cobra or an upward facing dog. And then exhale and push back to a downward dog. All right, you got the idea? All right, so now we are going to get busy with the side planks and the planks. So inhale, walk our feet forward into the forward fold. Half lift, inhale, exhale, forward fold, all the way up to our mountain. We'll come into a chair, so exhale into a chair. We'll hold this for a few breaths. Good, now inhale, come all the way down to a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, and exhale, just walk your feet back, and we're just going to be in plank for a moment. All right, so now we're going to hold this for a few breaths. And now we're going to roll over to our right side. So we're on our hand and we've rolled over. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. And we're holding our hips up high. If you need to drop your knee, please do so. Otherwise, your top foot, your right foot is in front and your right hand is up top. Bring your hand back down to a plank. Come to a low plank. Push up to a downward dog. To a cobra. And then push back to a downward dog. And this is where the downward dogs get to be rest poses. Good. Now inhale, exhale as we walk our feet forward to forward fold, half lift, forward fold, inhale into your belly, all the way up to a mountain, come all the way back down to forward fold, Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, hands to back and come into your plank again. So we'll do about 3 breaths here. Into your belly. Really try to focus on the breathing into your inhale, into your nose and into your belly. Good. Now we'll roll over, bring our left hand up. Again, now you can bring your right knee down if you need to. Good. Roll back, drop to a low, low plank, into a cobra, and then push back into the downward dog. My arms kind of gave out on me there. Good. Getting warm in here, even in the garage studio. Cool. Inhale, walk our feet forward on the exhale. Remember, this time we're going to do a plank, chair again. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold, all the way up on the inhale. And exhale into chair. Just keep working this. We're going to be coming back to this pose later in another version, okay? Exhale into a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat into high plank. And again, we're going to hold this for a moment. All right, one more twist to the side. Right hand up. So now we are in side plank, and we're going to hold this for a couple of breaths. Puts a lot of pressure on your hand and on your shoulder. So if you put your knee down, it's absolutely okay. Roll back down to high plank. Inhale, and then exhale, low plank. Push up to a downward dog or upward facing dog. I'm sorry. Cobra or the upward facing dog, and then push back to downward facing dog. Yikes. That's a lot of work we're doing here. And hopefully your shoulders are starting to open up a little bit. Hopefully we're starting to get a little extra mobility. We'll inhale, walk our feet forward into a forward fold. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale, forward fold. All the way up to mountain, back down into a chair. I don't think I skipped. I think this is 2 in a row. I'm so sorry. Oh no, but it's okay. It'll be our last sort of chair. We're going to try to reach up. You can see the limitations of my shoulders. I can come down into a squat, but my shoulders just don't want to stay up. Inhale and exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, into a high plank. Good. Now we're going to rotate, come around into our side plank. My left foot is forward, my right foot is back. If you're really adventurous, you can bring your left foot on top of your right, create even less stability. And roll back down, high plank. So you inhale, and then on the exhale, come to low plank, into cobra, and then back to downward dog. And we are almost done with those. Did I say almost? Yes, I did. We're done with the planks. So, whew, for that. We'll inhale, we'll look to the top of the mat to walk our feet forward into a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale to a forward fold. Inhale all the way up to mountain. Bring your arms up overhead. Hands together this time, and bring them down to heart center. and then bring to your side. On the exhale, catch your breath, but small breaths. All right. When you're ready, we'll come into a mountain pose and hold this. What we're going to be doing is a eagle pose, which I think we have done before, but perhaps not after so many sun salutations and chairs. And our goal is going to be to hold it for a little bit. What we're going to try to do is build that isometric strength in the leg that is down while our core holds us upright. All right, so let's give it a shot. So eagle, we're going to start with the weight on our left foot. The right foot, let's just kind of hold this here, make sure we're ready. The right foot is going to go over your left, okay? Now, you can leave your legs there. We want to have my right elbow and my right knee close to each other. So I'm going to have my arms wide. My right arm is going to come underneath my left. My elbows are going to come together. And then I'm going to try to grab a hold of my hands. This might be easier for you. It's just a challenge to get my shoulders moving like this. Right, so this is the beginning of eagle. Right, what we're going to try to do is do essentially a one-legged chair and have these eagle arms. All right, so I'm sitting back. My right toes are now kind of holding me up. I'm going to try and be one-legged, sort of. I fall out a lot. I'm going to lift my elbows as high as they will go. And what I'm trying to do is stare at something. I'm staring at a box that's on the floor. And I am just focusing on that and focusing on the breath. If you fall out, come back in. Use your right toes as you need to as a balance. Now, when you start feeling that burning in your glutes and in your thighs, breathe into your belly and focus on that. Good. One more breath. Excellent. Roll out. Uncurl yourself. Oh, yikes. Shake it all out. Shake it out. Shake it out. I'm sure Taylor would just be going, oh my God, I can't believe you just sang it that way. Or maybe she'd be happy that an old guy is singing her songs. All right, now. I'm going to put the weight on my right foot. Cross over with my left. And now I want my left knee and left elbow to come close. So I'm going to come out to the side. My left elbow is going to come underneath my right. And now I'm going to get in my eagle arms on this side. All right, so now the work's going to be done on my right hip, and my left toes are coming down. So I'm sitting back in that one-legged chair, trying to hold my back up as straight as possible. And I want to just focus on my breathing. Feel that the sensation of the air coming in through your nose, just the physical feeling of it. And then as it leaves your nose, try to make your breath as quiet as you possibly can. Good, keep going. 2 more breaths. And unravel yourself. Wow. That was good. All right, how are we doing on time? Perfect. All right, find yourself again. Shake it out again. Sing a Taylor song. We're gonna come down, we're gonna do a flow, come down to the mat. We're gonna do one more of the flows. Come down to the mat. One more high to low plank. Get your breath into your belly. We'll inhale all the way up and then swan dive down all the way to forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. And then come to a high plank as you exhale, come to a low plank, and then inhale into a cobra or an upward facing dog, and then exhale into downward dog, where we'll be for just a moment. All right, let's drop your left knee, drop your right, cross your ankles, sit back, and then we're gonna roll back onto our backs. And the one thing we haven't done much of today is twisting. So that's what we're gonna work on a little bit now. So with your hands at a 45-degree angle. All right, so now you're gonna lift up your knees and lift up your feet so that they are at 90 degrees. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of core work as well. So we're holding this up. We're going to breathe into our bellies and in through our nose. And now we're going to drop our knees over to the right without letting them touch. And look over to your left. And then we'll inhale and bring them back. Exhale. We're trying to keep our knees together. And then look over to your right as you drop them to the left on the exhale. And then back. So you should be feeling a lot of torque in your left or in your lower back right now. Inhale, exhale down. My breathing often gets messed up because I'm talking at the same time. Inhale up. So if you hear me breathing backwards, ignore me. And inhale up. Exhale. I'm going to do about 5 on each side. If I can count right, I think this is 3. And up. Inhale and then exhale down. You might get some nice little crackles and pops in your spine. 2. And exhale to the other side. And then again, look to the right. Up. Last round. Over. So this ends up being like, Pilates, but the idea is that we're really trying to work with our breath here and really trying to challenge our movement. All right, so now we're going to bring our feet down. Let our rest work. So the movement is challenging so that it challenges our breathing so that we have to kind of essentially raise our game up. All right, so now we're going to simply bring our left knee up in the air. And now we're going to drop, we're going to inhale, then exhale, drop your knee over to the left and look over to the right. Now we're just going to hold this for a couple seconds. The inhale will be lifting up your knees a little bit. And the exhale will be letting it fall a little bit. So you may feel this in a lot of different ways. It may be in your hip flexors, it may be in the side of your right side, it might be in your IT band, which isn't going to really stretch out. But the idea is that we're using our left leg, the leg that's on top, as kind of a weight to pull our right leg down. Try to keep your shoulders on the mat. Good. Now let's roll back up. Switch legs. Right leg on top of the left knee. Roll over to the right with your knees and look over to the left. Inhale up, exhale down. Couple more. Good. All right. Now bring around. We'll come into our seated position. Kind of a shorter practice today, I think. It feels like it. We did a lot of work and hopefully a lot of stability work in your core and in your hips with all of those high to low planks, which are in Sanskrit called a chaturanga, which is always kind of a cool word, but chaturanga. No idea what it means, but it's a high plank to a low plank. All right, so let's find our breath into our belly. Try to think about that quiet breathing. Good. Hands at our side. We'll inhale. Bring your arms up. Bring your hands together. Exhale. Bring your hands to your heart. I'm grateful for your presence tonight. Thank you for joining us. Namaste. Well, thank you for joining us. If you have questions about how yoga fits into your work as an everyday endurance athlete, if you have questions about yoga in general, I am not an expert in yoga. I am a yoga instructor, especially for people who are runners and cyclists and triathletes, as a recovery tool and as a strength tool. So if you have questions and want to talk about it, got a virtual coffee on the website, check it out. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you.